Everyone, my name is Damola and I'm one of Menlo Park's vloggers. I've got a few questions I'm going to answer today, but before I get to them, kindly make sure you're following Menlo Park on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube so you don't miss any of my videos. Today, I'm just going to be sharing a few key things I've learned in the course of training. I'm a final year trainee due to complete my training in a few weeks, actually. So, yeah, me, I'm almost there. Looking back, I can still remember vividly my first day in training. My first rotation was obstetrics and gynecology. So, for those who are just starting, I can assure you time really does fly by. So do make sure you enjoy the ride and soak in, every bit of it. I think a few key things I've learned. The first bit is I've actually learned how to reflect. Reflections are very, very good. They make you be a better person, make you be a better doctor. I mean, not only from the portfolio bits and filling in those learning logs, obviously that would help you reflect, but just having that rethink, looking back on those cases where you learned something new or you found out something new, and you go back and do some more research on it, just helps you be a better doctor. Because definitely if you were to see those cases again, you do things differently this time. So that's a no-brainer. So, that's one thing. I think the second bit I learned is, how to consult better. So obviously in medical school and, as a hospital doctor, we've got the way we consult and, how we take the history from the patient and all of that. But as a GP, it's way different. The most important bit of consultation as a GP, from what I've learned, is to ascertain the patient's agenda. And by agenda, I mean here, most people already coming in having thoughts, they've read a few things, they've done a few researches of their own. So they've got a few things in their head as to what they think is going on. They've got a few things that, patients, they've got a few things that they're worried about. And they've also got a few things that we're hoping you could get done for them. If you don't get that out early enough in the consultation, the consultation will just be two different people having two different thoughts, which is not good. We want, a consultation to go seamlessly, and we want, to be on the same page with the patient. So it's good to establish this, so that you can understand what they were hoping to get from you. You can understand, what they were thinking about, and you can reassure them, or, let them see why, what they were thinking may be wrong, or if it's also right, let them know why you're also thinking that way, and then make sure, in terms of what they were hoping to do for you, once you establish that, you can also then, if you're going to do that, you can let them know why you're doing that. And if you're also not going to do that, you can give them reasons and they would understand. So that's very important, establishing that agenda. I think the second bit is establishing the impact of any medical problem or, any mental health problem on the patient's life. And I'll explain why it's good to to understand the impact on their lives. For starters, it helps you develop a closer connection with them. And hey, as a good GP, who doesn't want that? We want to be as connected as we can with our patients, because it just helps us develop a better relationship. Aside that, once you understand that impact, you could also realize other things that you could, offer them, other resources, other agencies within the community that could help them with, non-medical problems, and it would make their lives a whole lot better. So as a hospital doctor, to be honest, I mean, most likely wouldn't really care about that, but as a GP, it's really paramount. So those two things, are very important in any consultation. Thank you.